Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Life Builders. It's Julie Hamilton with Life Builders, bringing you simple tips to build a strong and healthy life on. Well, I hope your week is off to a great start, and I'm so grateful that you came by. Today, we're talking about something super fascinating and that I've been learning about, and that is the way that your body reacts differently from real life friends versus social online interaction. And it's very interesting how our body's natural reaction teaches us a lot. And at the end, I'm also going to give you the top 10 ways to boost your good feelings. So that'll be fun. Top 10 ways to feel fun. Hey, Abby, good to see you. Well, listen, how many times a day do you think the average person checks their phone? Leave me a comment if you're watching this. Tell me how many times a day you think the average person checks their phone, and how many times a day do you think you check your phone? Well, mine is probably pretty high. They have apps that you can open up that'll tell you, and they'll tell you how many times you open your phone. Well, the average is, drum roll, the average person opens their phone 80 times a day. That's every 12 minutes. Now, what the research shows that 1 in 10 people check their phone every 4 minutes, you guys. I remember when I was nursing and eating, like feeding the baby every 2.5 hours seemed like it broke my day into so many chunks. But think about your day in 4-minute chunks. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. 200. I probably do mine a lot too. I do probably a lot more than 80. Do you ever do this? Do you ever press on the button and then 2 seconds later you find yourself refreshing the button even though nothing life-changing has probably come in the last 2 seconds? You still find yourself pressing on the button. Oh, Carol says the average person 30 and me 10. Oh, good, Carol, you're good. Man, I want to be more like Carol. Well, so we do that, right? We check and we refresh and we're looking for that little ding and we're looking for that. And then sometimes it doesn't work and you don't get that, right? And you're like, oh, do you guys ever feel that way? Because sometimes I'm like, man, that post was good. It should have got way more likes than that, but guess what? If you do that, you are not alone, because that is actually the way that social media is designed. Now, the founding president of Facebook recently got very raw and real about the design of Facebook. And I want to read you this quote because I don't want to mess it up. I want you to know what he said. This is what he said. He said, we sat down and we asked ourselves this question. Let me find it on my notes. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention possible? That's literally what they asked themselves. Let me read it again. This is what the founding president of Facebook said when they designed Facebook. How do we consume as much of your time and your conscious attention possible? Yeah, and they're doing a great job, aren't they? They did something super brilliant. They tapped into a natural mechanism that we have, a natural neurochemical that comes from our brains called dopamine. I don't know if you've heard about dopamine, but it is good. It is good for us because dopamine is what helps us get to the next goal. It helps us make progress. So for instance, if you've ever tried to lose weight, or if you've ever tried to run a race or met that sales goal at work, or tried to eat good, every time that you're hitting that goal, or if you're losing weight, then you're every few pounds that you're like, oh, my computer's doing, hold on just a second, let me do this. Sorry guys. Okay, sorry about that. That just distracted me. So every time that you're hitting that goal, you are getting a hit of dopamine. And then it keeps us going toward the next goal because we like the way that it feels, right? When you've ever hit a big goal, you're like, yes! And you get that shower of dopamine. It's an instant release and it's an instant gratification, but it goes away like that. But that is what happens when we hit the goal. And so when we are going on social media, what's happening is we get caught in something called the dopamine loop. So they know every like that we get, every follow that we get, every comment that we get, it's releasing a little hit of dopamine in our brain. And then even when we tap on people's pictures and we like people's pictures, that is also releasing it. And that is why it's so hard to keep scrolling. Because the thing that they don't tell you about dopamine is it's actually super highly addictive. So it has some good characteristics and that are helping us survive and be good humans and all of that. But it is also very addictive. When you meet someone who maybe has an addiction, whether it's a chemical dependency, shopping, gambling, collecting, anything, what they are hitting and what they are getting from that addiction is a dopamine hit every time. And that's what we're getting when we tap the like button, when we get that like, when we get that comment, when we get that social media. And that's why you feel disappointed sometimes when you go on and no one's commented or no one's, liked your picture as much as you thought it should be. So the point of dopamine is to reinforce behaviors, and that's why it's highly addictive. So when we are scrolling, what we are doing is the dopamine loop causes us to seek our goal, to hit our goal, and then to seek to hit that goal some more. So that's why people say you have to be careful handing kids electronic devices. You're handing them an addictive device. That's what the research says. So that's the chemical that's released when you have that online interaction, that social media interaction. But when you have an interaction with a real life friend, there is a very different chemical released, and that is called oxytocin. Do you guys know about this? It's awesome. Oxytocin is the long-lasting feelings of calm and safety. It's what helps us fall in love with our children. It's what gives us friendships and deep bonds, deep trust, vulnerability, camaraderie. All of those things are born from oxytocin. That's how we feel that. Like, I don't know, have you ever been on a night with your friends and at the end of the night you're like, this is the best night ever, we should do this every night? That is oxytocin working in you saying, hey, this is good. And oxytocin has so many benefits, you guys. Listen to this. This is some of the benefits that it has. It causes you to live longer. It causes you to boost your immune system, have better problem solving. It reduces cardiovascular stress. Oxytocin is so good for you. And that's what happens when we are with people and we're with people in real life. But listen to this. Oxytocin also helps us be resistant to dopamine addiction. Isn't that interesting? The very thing that we're doing online, that dopamine addiction that we're doing, that hit every time when we're with real people, that helps us be resistant to the social media addiction. Isn't that fascinating? And it's a natural byproduct of those two chemicals, which is amazing. So when you're feeling good from being with your friends and you got the warm fuzzies and your teammates and all of that, you don't have to spend so much time on social media looking for the feel-good hit. Okay, here's the fascinating question. How do we get oxytocin? Number one, it's by being around people that you love and trust. So being in the presence of your tribe. So you're with people that you love. You just feel so good at the end of the night. This is fascinating. You also get it by doing something kind or generous for someone. Not only that, but every time someone observes you doing something kind or generous, they get a hit of oxytocin. So we can also get it by observing or hearing about inspiring acts of generosity. That's why I love the social media accounts like Love What Matters. I love Humans of New York. Like, there's so many where you can read inspiring stories where people are being selfless. That boosts your oxytocin. That's what we want. You can also get it, this is the main way, by, I sounded like a disease, you can get it by, but the way that oxytocin is boosted in us is by physical contact. Whether you shake someone's hand, you hold their hand, you give them a hug. That's why little babies always want to touch their mommies, because they feel so safe and so secure. Even the way guys slap each other on the butt in a football game, that is the way of boosting that oxytocin and showing our camaraderie. Yeah, we're on the same team. Let me slap your butt, you know? So those are all the things that you can do to boost that oxytocin. It's pretty fascinating. And the last thing I wanted to tell you is here are top 10 ways that you can boost that. And these are scientific. This is from an article from Psychology Today. This is a scientific article they did from result of testing people's blood, because you can test it in the blood after doing these events. So these are natural ways that you can boost your oxytocin, which you want to do. Number 10 is listen with your eyes. So when you're talking to someone, listen with your eyes. Oh, Carol, you're so sweet. I love you. And thank you, Carrie. You said I have a great smile. I so appreciate that. Number 9 is give a gift. You guys, you can get a gift from the dollar section at Target. They have a ton of cute stuff. Give a gift. It'll cost you $1 and you'll get a big oxytocin boost. Number 8, share a meal with someone. Isn't that the best when you have small group and you get this, you know, you're eating a meal together and you're like feeling like, oh, we're all together in that. Thank you, Abby. You're so sweet. Number 7, meditate while focusing on others. So wouldn't that be prayer? Like praying for someone, right? Or meditating. Number 6, they said soak in a hot tub. Soak in a hot tub with your friends, your family, your kids. That's going to give you a great oxytocin boost. Number 5, even using social media and to connect with people. You can connect with people all around the world. So I'm not saying don't use social media, but I am saying is also have real life interactions. Number 4, okay, how many of you like this? This is, number 4 says, take a roller coaster ride or jump out of an airplane. Me! Somebody just woke up. She's got morning hair. Take a roller coaster ride or jump out of an airplane. That's going to give you a big rush of this. Number 3, all you dog lovers are going to love this one. Pet a dog. How simple is that? All we have to do to feel better is pet a dog. Dogs are amazing. That's incredible. Number 2 is use the L word. Tell somebody that you love them today. Use the L word to communicate with your friends, your spouse, your family, everybody that you love. And number 1 way to increase your oxytocin is to get 8 hugs a day. I'm gonna have to work on that. I think I only get like 3 because I try to hug everybody at least once. So I'm gonna have to work on the 8 hugs a day. So, well, thank you so much, Miss Hicks. I love you. I love you guys. I hope that helps you know the difference between how your body's reacting to social media and then how it's reacting to having real life friends. Go hang out with your real life friends. Get in a small group, invite a friend over, do something fun. I love you guys. Thank you for your encouragement, and you're just the best, honestly. You guys are an amazing community, and I love you. Mwah! All right, go live your big, amazing, beautiful lives and boost that oxytocin today. Love ya. Bye.